She's like a sleeper hit kind of gal, you know? And I just want to rip that Parker right off of her and make some snow angels, right?
Hey, how's it going, folks? This is Spearfield7. I'm bringing you a July PlayStation Plus observation video on Until Dawn, which is what I would consider the main offering of titles this month. The other is Game of Thrones, Telltale series, which really has nothing for me. I watched the show, and honestly, I'm a little bit burnt out on Telltale games. But they do a good job, so I'm sure it's probably pretty good to check out. But Until Dawn is a game that I purchased like 6 months ago, and after about like 90 minutes of gameplay, I was like, you know what, I'm good on this. So when I saw it was a free game this month, I thought, great, you know, it's free. Maybe I was just being overly hard. Maybe I should actually give it a shot. I go on Reddit a lot, and I noticed a lot of discussions, and people just really love the game. And Metacritic, a lot of the user reviews are really positive, and people just seem to really enjoy the game. So I was like, you know what, let's actually play through it. Let's see what this is all about. Until Dawn opens with a group of spoiled teenagers in a wintry cabin getaway. One of the members strays from the group, gets killed, and kills the party buzz of all the entitled little shits involved. The murder goes unsolved, and upon the first anniversary of this murder, these mentally vacant idiots decide to return to the scene of the crime to party and have wanton sex with one another. Meanwhile, after each chapter, you have the creepy murderous guy from the movie Fargo evaluating your performance, the choices you've made, to perhaps open up a window into who you are, you know, the player, as a person beyond the game and in gaming in general. It's supposed to tell you a little bit about yourself. All of these are incredibly juicy ideas on paper, but fail at the core of crafting an interesting story. Many horror films feature a collection of dumb kids in a remote location without security or adult supervision getting picked off one by one after making stupid, idiotic choices that no one above the age of 5 would ever make. And in many ways, horror films seek to be morality plays where no one is safe. You know, cruelty begets cruelty, and good deeds even never go unpunished. And so a viewer can kind of revel in the cruelty and stupidity of the characters, sort of feeling like they're above the people that they're watching. So I totally get it. I totally understand the film genre. But that's the core problem with the game, in my opinion. I viciously hate just about every single character in the story.
She was asking about my letter jacket.
Right, because she gave a shit about your designer letter jacket.
Why do you hate my jacket?
Matt, I need my bag.
Oh my god, Em, maybe you just forgot it.
Do you seriously think I'd forget my bag?
Typical stories since the beginning of time rely on a very simple, dramatic rules. A hero who wants to accomplish something very, very badly and is having a hard time doing so. Basically, like, they set out to achieve a goal, whether it's avenging the death of a loved one, you know, climbing Mount Everest, whatever, and then there's a lot of obstacles, and then those obstacles go from very little obstacles to very big obstacles that they have to overcome. So there you have it. I told you the rules to filmmaking, writing, storytelling, just in general. So if you decide to make an award-winning piece down the road and make your first $1 million, please come back, give me a tip for the advice. So the situation is diffused in Until Dawn because we're relying on a carousel of several characters, and I despise nearly all of them. No leader really emerges either, at least not up front, and so it makes it difficult to enjoy the ride. But let's talk about the game itself. The controls are really clunky and rely on a series of quick-time events that give you the illusion of interaction within this sort of glorified tech demo. And I love quick-time heavy storytelling games like What Remains of Edith Finch and Firewatch. I love this genre of game. But those games succeed in telling an engaging and worthwhile story with memorable characters, which is where this game fails. I was in several situations where regardless of what choice I was making, the outcome was always the same. And it wasn't always that the game was trying to steer me in the direction it wanted. It's that, as we mentioned before, it's that I don't really care about the decisions I'm making because I don't care about the people in this game. And so I don't care about the consequences of my decisions. and that's hard to swallow since that's the fundamental core of the game. In this game, you walk a lot with literally no guidance as to where to go. Then you have petty discussions, and then you walk some more, and then have some romantic banter. Oh, we're gonna get laid tonight, boys. It's gonna be great. I cannot impress upon you how much walking you will do in the first 2 hours of gameplay. It's quite disgusting, actually. Peppered in are a few jump scares, you know, kind of horror movies where it's like, oh shit, it like really wasn't something bad, and then you do some more walking. I swear to God, you walk so much in this game. You pick up clues and premonitions of future mayhem, but the burn is so slow as far as the storytelling. Sometimes I wondered if the story was even advancing, and that's a bad sign. Until Dawn's atmosphere and graphics are where it shines the most, and it's troubling that so many seem to like the game on this premise alone. Personally, I find the animations to be too real, the motion capture having actors make funny faces that seem more creepy and odd than compelling, especially in the walking animations and other areas, which make you feel like some sort of photorealistic Ken doll. And everything else about the game sort of screams wooden and inauthentic, so it's a weird balance. As long as the game is engaging and fun to play, there's a lot of graphical latitude I'm willing to forgive. Until Dawn's graphics are dazzling in some areas, but does that actually constitute a good game? It is my humble opinion that instead of playing Until Dawn, you should rent some movies that are similar in the horror genre, and there are many of them that succeed in telling a more exciting and interesting story. Cabin in the Woods, I think, is one of them that I really enjoyed the movie. It's a very similar story to this, and it actually was better that I didn't have a controller in my hand trying to do some sort of half-assed participation in the story. If you want realistic and pretty visuals, maybe stand up, open your front door, and go outside for a while. I mean, the world around us is beautiful. Of course, I'm only half joking, but I'm concerned with this current state of gaming. I mean, it really sort of prizes graphics over good storytelling or fun gameplay, and Until Dawn, for me, kinda has neither. But ultimately, I might be alone in these criticisms of the game as I see it getting tons of love online. I frankly don't get it and can't necessarily recommend the game, but it made me think a little bit, and it nagged at me to the point where I felt like I should make a video, so here I am. So the question I pose to you is, did I get it wrong? I'd love to hear additional thoughts from folks that have played it below, and perhaps this video will serve as an inadvertent advertisement to actually play the game to hear what I'm getting so excited about. Of course, as my grandma always said, opinions are like assholes, everyone has one. And I don't hold it against anyone who had a really good time playing this game, it just wasn't for me. So stay tuned, hope you're having a great evening, and until next time, this is Spearfield 7. See you later.
Good effort. Next time I get the camera, okay?